Going on.
You hear me?
Yes,
This
I can
meeting
hear
is
you.
being recorded.
Can you turn off the video for my Fathom note taker, please?
Sure. It's off.
All right, here we go.
Are you cueing the intro music?
So I could make intro music because I have
Yeah.
a scripted to Suno. That would be great to do, but with session one, I think we're just getting comfortable with talking about it.
Yeah.
I give you the one pager, right? Just to go
Yeah.
over the tone and things like that. It would be more informal. It's not like we have Dr. Mike on, have to be prim and proper.
Yeah. Even
He's
he's
pretty funny though, right?
yeah,
Like,
no, and I think, he's obviously got a responsibility to be a diplomat for the program, but yeah, I would say he's pretty authentic. I'm gonna pull that one pager back up real quick. There we go.
yeah, I just took my car to the dealer and like the midlife crisis car tires are expensive. So
See, on your Challenger, probably something like 250 a piece, maybe
yeah,
three.
yeah.
Yep.
So he just gave me the estimate. It's like 800 bucks plus
Yep.
alignment. Um, and then, windshield wipers, car air filter, stuff like that. And I was like, well, it's there. I only went in for oil change, but it's gonna cost me like 1,200 bucks, whatever.
It's like an episode of Tires. Have you seen that show?
No, what is that?
Um, it's a comedy on Netflix with Shane Gillis.
Oh,
Uh,
he's funny. Yeah.
who's that guy who was like from somewhere in New York with the mustache? It's like I'm trying to remember his name. Andrew Schultz.
Oh yeah, he's funny
Andrew
too.
Schultz is on it. There's another comedian on it. It's really funny. I would strongly recommend it. Two seasons on Netflix,
They're
and
funny guys.
yeah, it's hilarious, but like in a different sort of way. It's not like Will Ferrell slapstick. But
Charles funny
but
too.
you should watch it because it's very relevant to your car thing. Like they're like doing a special where people go in for an oil change, like $10 oil change, and then they're upselling them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's part of the thing, right? Like they get
Exactly.
commissions and
Yeah.
stuff like that, and more business comes through. I take it to the dealer because if the dealer messes up, I'll just sue them. Like I don't feel bad about suing the dealer,
Sure, sure.
right? But for like the smaller mom and pop stuff, it's just kind of more of a pain, right? But I haven't had to do it. It's always been like trained technicians. They have the warranty and stuff like that. If I complain, they fix it, whatever.
Yeah.
So I mean, I just don't like dealing. I don't like dealing with the aftermath of stuff a lot of times, right? Especially if like, I'm doing all the right things. So
Yeah. Got it.
yeah, in America, it's tough, right? People don't take you seriously until you sue them. So
Even then, they might not take you seriously. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it depends, right? Like, we think about people like Elon, lawsuits are like an everyday thing for him. So,
Yeah.
but we don't want to talk about Elon. And we want to talk about emergence. Let me
Right.
pull up the one pager
Let's
as
see that.
well. Yeah, just to go over it and like talk
Yeah.
out loud about it. Right. So the podcast, the Emergent Podcast, is a long form, unscripted exploration of inner life, identity, leadership, and change. Do you agree with that?
Hmm.
All right. Is there anything you want to add?
And then what? Excuse me. No, I think I appreciate your angle on just kind of like starting and seeing what emerges, and getting in the habit of getting in the habit of being present and doing it. And then over the course of those 100 episodes, I
Yeah.
trust that we will have enough snippets and gold and platinum. We can mine it all.
Yeah. Diamonds, whatever it is,
That's right.
it'll be there. Yeah. I mean, like you have to put out enough content out there to have like that moment of, oh yeah,
Yeah.
right. Like, and it's a longer form conversation. So each episode creates space for real conversations, not performative insight. I feel like you and I are not performative people, right? Not that we're not high
I could
performers, but
be,
we don't. Yeah.
and I appreciate that. I appreciate that. That's what the opportunity here is, not that, right? So I'm not coming with a script. Like I'm just being, my
Joe
goal
up.
is to be present with you.
Yeah. Slowing down enough to notice what is actually happening. like exploring our internal world, right? What our emotions are popping up, what things are we experiencing in the moment, or if we're being present, or we're going to like other places, right? Or we're reliving memories. There's a nervous system going through um, like a rehash. Exploring tension, uncertainty, and growth in real time. I love that. That's more of a flow thing for me.
Yeah.
Moving from self improvement towards self understanding. That's a big one, right?
Yeah.
Some episodes will feature guests, others are solo reflections or life coaching style conversations. Through the through line is presence, honesty, and curiosity.
Perfect.
Listeners, the intention is that listeners come away feeling more grounded in themselves, less alone in their inner experience. That's a big one. Clear about what matters next. Relieved to not be told what to fix. I love that. Uh, this content is this is not content to consume quickly. It's something to sit with, which I don't think we get a lot of in our current media.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Everything is more or less the opposite of that. But I mean, there are the podcasts out there that are obviously much longer form and so I'm less apt to watch those. But what's his name? I really appreciate I'm drawing a blank on his name. Andrew, neuroscience guy.
Oh, Huberman.
Huberman, thank you. But his podcasts are too long. Like I don't have three
Yeah,
hours.
like 34 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I'm just
Um,
wondering like why can't you make an hour version, you know?
yeah,
Uh
but I mean, it's a long conversation, right?
yeah,
So, and then you can always get the cuts of the hour versions from like different people.
yeah.
Right. Different.
So yeah, so I think that I would want people to have something that they can consume in short form as well.
Yeah.
But I recognize that there are going to be limits for them. Um,
True.
yeah, just one
I
line
mean,
could totally
yeah.
be what someone needed to hear. So
Yeah, sometimes it's just a one-liner, right? The
yeah,
one-liner changes things. I had a one-liner today. It changed my whole life. So we can talk about it after we get to get through this part, the one pager. But like coaching, emergence coaching is a one-on-one practice focused on awareness, embodiment, and integration, right? And that's what we both practice as coaches, right? Rather than pushing goals or strategies, coaching centers on understanding the story you're living from, noticing patterns, defenses, and habits with compassion, learning to trust your internal signals, creating space for new responses to emerge. Sessions are conversational, present focused, and responsive to what is alive in the moment. The work adapts to you, not the other way around. So I find a lot of benefits from emergence coaching, the style and things like that. And you don't have to focus on pulling myself away from like, I need to give this person my advice, right? With the
yeah,
yeah. But I mean, I find it way more peaceful and settling, like for myself as the coach,
yeah,
rather than feeling the pressure to like to try to give this person advice that's going to change their life, right? Like this
yeah,
person's actually changing their own life, like both internally and externally by making like the aha moment, right? Having it, them experience it themselves rather than me telling them they're experiencing it. And I find that is one of the most rewarding things about the coaching that we do.
absolutely. I agree wholeheartedly.
Coaching especially supportive for people navigating leadership pressure or identity shifts, burnout, or quiet dissatisfaction, big decisions without clear answers, the sense that success has outpaced meaning. That's a big thing for me in my life as well. So, I mean, there's nothing to perform here. You do not need to be fixed. You just need space to be met, honestly. So, who this is for? Emergence is for people who are tired of forcing change, want depth without spiritual bypassing. Ooh, ooh. Snaps. Value self-awareness as a leadership skill, are willing to slow down to move forward. If you feel a pull toward this work, that pull matters. So this is the invitation. You can engage through listening, through conversation, or through coaching. However you enter, the invitation is the same. Pause, notice, listen, let what is next emerge. So that's our one pager intro. Right. I'm not gonna say
Yeah.
that during every intro, right? Like I'll probably give
Is
like
it
a two
this is just
sentence.
something that um this is just something that you're going to record once and then it's going to be there for people on our page kind of deal?
Yeah, yeah. So like a 30-second like intro, right? Like this is just like our, the guiding foundation of like how the podcast is structured, what we're gonna do. It could be just us, it could be just one of us, right? Us talking about emergence or us doing a live coaching, one of us doing a live coaching, and one of us would be like the coach mentor, like what we do, like the live sessions and things like that. It could evolve into all those things, and we can try different formats to see what works best for us with our timing and seeing who wants to come in. Like I was talking to Asif about it yesterday. I was like, man, you can come on the podcast. What's up? Asif is our coach mentor for people like us, right?
Yeah.
He's one of them. Um,
I guess in
but I,
that way you and I share that coach, which is great.
yeah, yeah, he's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like, I'm very honest with him about my coaching style and things like that. So he watched one of my recordings and he was like, hey, what do you think went well? And I just like, it's working. Like my coach, yeah, my coach, he's like getting value out of it, and like I can see like he's working towards a path, right, and he's continuing to do that work, and he's very satisfied in that. I think the satisfaction in doing that work is really important because a lot of times we're making cogs and sprockets and we're filling out spreadsheets, and we don't really see the meaning behind what we're doing, and it is emptying, right? Like we're not refilling our cup when we do things like that. So he's starting to move towards things that like, are satisfying like his yearning for purpose acceptance and things like that.
Yeah.
But he was also like, yeah, you talked for like 59% of the call. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, and like he's like, well, for the first 35 minutes, you were like more like career focused. Like I'm a technology manager, right? So he was asking for like what should I do like for my career in tech and things like that. So I was like, giving it like just offhandedly because this is what like my normal coaching is. Historically my coaching has been coaching tech professionals to give themselves raises, like 40K raises, or get a job that's more satisfying for them, or things like that. And I just went into that mode automatically, right? Because that's like where I've lived for most of my coaching, most of my coaching life. So as I moved away from it, like I had to like, wrist
Yeah.
slap myself and be like, oh yeah, I did do that. My bad, dog.
Yeah.
And that was part of it, right? And so he was very good about giving me the feedback on that and saying like, well, he's supposed to come up with the answers. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. And like I had the session with that person right after the coaching mentoring session, and it went more smooth, right? Because I wasn't trying to force or like impose my will on the client and say like you have to go get the certification, right?
Yeah.
Like this is my recommendation as a hiring manager, right? Like so it became less authoritative and more like a conversation of like, oh yeah, I can do that.
Yeah. And then were you saying that Asif is also your regular coach or no?
Yes, yes.
Perfect. Yeah, cool.
That's great. It's
Okay.
great to like talk to somebody who's in like the doctor program because I
Yeah,
believe it is.
he is.
And just to see like what I have ahead of me when I go roll into that. I might take a year off and like move to Spain and
Yeah.
get settled there before I sign up again. I don't know what it looks like for me future wise, but I mean, as plans are now, that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I thought you were moving there in 28, so I get puts you at 2 years out, or are you thinking it could be even sooner?
I mean, it might be sooner. Right? So like we're in flux, right? Like, my 24 month like objective is to get financially independent enough to like move there without the reliance on my day job, which is part of like taking on coaching clients and building my own personal practice and things like that. Because the cost of living is more manageable there, right?
Yeah.
In Valencia where I'm at. So like for context, I live in St. Petersburg, Florida. Pretty decent cost of living here, but I feel like I live in an area that's very neutral for me, in terms of cost of living, lifestyle, things like that.
Yeah.
Even though there's a beach 20 minutes in every direction, I just not motivated to go to the beach,
Yeah.
right? But I've lived here my life, so I want to move somewhere that is um, different enough to where like I can see things with new eye, like fresh eyes, and have a fresh perspective in a country that may or not is leaning towards being more favorable for me as a digital nomad.
Yeah. Makes sense, bro.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Excited for you. Excited for you. Excited for that big step.
Yeah. I'm, worst case scenario, I just move back, right? I'm gonna keep my house here, right? I'm
Yeah.
not planning on selling it. I'll probably rent it out, put it under LLC or something like that, rent it out. And I mean, wherever I go, I'm gonna have a good time, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna be my best self, and the people gravitate towards that. So I'm build like a community of
Actually,
people.
you just reminded me to send you to forward you this. Uh, I'll forward you this so you can review it later.
Mhm.
Uh, keep going.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things we can do is we can review our own coaching sessions too on the thing and just like talk about talk about. So I didn't think about it until just now when we were talking about Asa.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I think as long as we're not doing anything that,
yeah, as long as we get consent, right?
yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. Either that or we just don't
Use
share
people's
the
name.
actual recording. We just share our own reflections or something.
Yeah,
I'm
that's one of
with
those things
that.
I've learned as a coach is that going back and reviewing the material, and like learning, it's good. So like having as part of the program recording the sessions, and then like reading the transcript, and like, oh yeah, I could have did that better, or like what was I feeling at that moment,
Yeah.
and like reviewing that it's been really nice and reflective. So the camera doesn't lie, right? Like when I give like a ooh face in session when they tell me something like, oh yeah, I could have handled that better. So I think the practice of being like neutral, right, and not out producing your client meaning like out cry or out angry. I used to out angry the clients all the time and get like more upset than they were when they would tell me something like that is an injustice, right? Like you need to go back there and like wage theft is like the biggest crime in America, right? Like like you need to go get your bag. This is unacceptable, right? Like I will write a recommendation letter for you for like the tech coaching stuff, like
Yeah.
but like also in my life, right, I have been subject to, to those kinds of things where like I've been overlooked because um, I was performing so well in this role. If they promoted me and replaced me with somebody that was, I mean, less productive or essential, right, in that role, it would cause pain. So like people that were doing less work were getting put ahead of me, and like I hate that. I would leave, right,
Yeah.
and and I think a lot of the times when I'm coaching people, they end up leaving the place where they're at sooner, right? Or the crossroads. And now because I have the emergence framework and understanding and training, I think it comes from a place less of, I want this for you, and more of they want it for themselves instead of me saying like, I would leave,
Yeah.
right? They like come to the realization like, I need to leave, um, like for them.
Yeah.
So, but it's the questioning, right? Ask a better question, get a better answer, and I think that's one of those things that I've gotten better at because we're not giving advice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. I think that is, like you were saying earlier, the biggest, well, it's the biggest thing to manage in terms of self-management is like you have your expertise in the tech sector and coaching people in that way. I have my range of competencies, and it's really painful sometimes to watch someone stumble through something that you've already
I've
delivered
already
on.
lived that life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're like, dude, oh my God, the answer's so clear. And
You just want to shake them, right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
do it, do the thing. Just fix it, and your life will be better. But I mean, they have to come to the point where like they have the wherewithal to do that because sometimes people are overwhelmed. Right when I was
yeah,
in it, I was overwhelmed. I had things going on in my personal life. I had things going on at work. I was just getting
yeah,
it from all sides, and I felt like really beat down. So like making any kind of decision or to shake things up would lose the stability
yeah,
that I did have, and I was kind of like grasping at straws to like you're on the cliff's edge and you feel like you're
yeah.
just falling.
Exactly. Yeah,
So
it's like I don't know. I think it was Mike or whoever said it in the program. It's just more valuable when they get there on their own. So, just
Mhm.
like my parents used to tell me all the time, do this, do that, you know, pretty much imposing all their values. And I made the mistakes that they tried to help me avoid, but I learned way better through those mistakes, and I arrived at the same place.
Yeah,
And there's really no regrets in that journey, and like no one can tell me what my journey should have been.
yeah.
You know what I
I
mean?
agree. I agree 100%. Yeah. My parents wanted me to be like a doctor or a lawyer and stuff like that. And then when I looked down those routes, I was like, I don't want to do any of that. That
Yeah,
sounds horrible. Like,
yeah,
like doing the thing, like having the prestige is great, but like going to medical school, going to law school, all those things, right? I still look at it like medical school is definitely a no. I might go to law school just to go to law school, and say I did it as like a hobby. Um, but I'm not gonna go take the bar, right, and
yeah.
practice law. Um, I consider it recently with all like the AI law stuff coming out and like all the it's green fresh territory or a blue ocean, right? If you want to put it into like the context if you've read Blue Ocean Strategy. Um, but then I was like, man, that sounds like a lot of work, and
A lot of work.
I would have to go back to school and make less money and start all over. And I don't want to do that, right?
Yeah,
Like I put it in context today. I make more or just as much money as my friends who are doctors and lawyers,
yeah.
doing much less work, being much less stressed out, and not having the pain of the weight of like hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loans.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah. So you obviously you made a series of right decisions,
yeah.
going military route, going tech route, etc. Part of the reason
I
that
don't
you
feel like the right decision sometimes, but man,
well, there every one of them have trade-offs. That's just a reality. Just like you said, going to medical school, you leave with quarter million, half a million, three-quarters of a million in debt, and then you're
yeah,
saddled
easy.
with that. Like,
Yeah,
so I think that at the very least, like understanding that technology was the next thing, and that I mean the US is largely it's like the largest tech sector in the world. That's
mhm,
how we're still kicking it between that and our military. And you did
yeah,
the two things, right, that we're strong in.
done and
You're in
done.
the
And
military
I
and
mean,
tech.
I made lifelong friends, and I mean, I lead a team of engineers, right? Multiple teams of engineers, really, but I mean, they all benefit from both my military experience and my tech experience, right?
Yeah.
So they get the best of both worlds. I mean, and I try to lead with as much empathy and understanding as possible because we all have lives, and I've suffered unnecessarily because I've had leaders that did not want to acknowledge the human side of things. Right?
Mm.
They only wanted the robotic, like you need to be more productive response, like you need to show up and
Hmm.
sit there for 8 hours at a desk and
Yeah.
click, click, check
Click away.
boxes. Yeah, like make cogs and sprockets.
I
So I
don't have
use
any.
the
Oh crap! I don't have
go
anything
ahead.
else to click. Well, create
Yeah,
clickbait.
yeah, like continue
Yes.
to suffer.
Oh,
Like figure it out.
I just saved that. Lucky
Yeah,
save, bro.
reflexes.
Wow. Like I scared myself just how I saved that.
That's amazing.
So just for the audience, I accidentally got sunflower butter on my hard-boiled egg, so I had to lick it
Nice.
before I could peel it.
I didn't know sunflower butter was a thing, man. This is what happens when I don't live in Fairfield. I'm missing out on all
Jeez.
the cool stuff.
Well, I thought you came to visit. Then
I
you come.
did, but I don't remember getting sunflower butter on my
Yeah.
head.
We can't.
I really like the cafeteria setup, but I was like, man, this is way different than what I was expecting.
What
Um,
were you expecting? Were you expecting it to be kind of this hip, kind of St. Pete cafe?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I dated a girl who went to USF in my college years. I didn't go to USF.
Yeah.
University of South Florida, right? So I went to ITT Tech, which doesn't exist anymore, and they didn't have like on-site things because it's not like a traditional, right?
Mhm.
It was pay to play kind of place where they like overcharged me for a bachelor's degree. But when they went away, all the student loans went away, right? And like the people, yes, yes. So the people that went there and were paying their student loans. Didn't get a lot back, but I did get money back. And then there are lawsuits afterwards that paid me money in dividends from the lawsuits and stuff like that because, it was not a great place. I did complete my
You mean
degree.
you mean because
Yeah.
your degree was no longer valid?
Yeah, maybe.
I think that's why. Yeah.
Yeah, that's gotta be it.
But
But
regardless, you got a job and
yeah.
you're
Well,
you're
I
selling in the
mean,
industry.
I have tons of life experience, right? So like
Right.
I could have clept a different degree somewhere else, and that was one of the things that I had to like pursue, right? Because and then, like it put me off of going through the master's degree program for a long time, for a
Yeah.
long time.
You're
And
like,
like
what if this school goes under?
yeah, like USF's probably not gonna go under, but I haven't gone there. So and like I considered it, I was like, man, what about? So when I went to do transcendental meditation, right? It's how I found MIU. My teacher Olivia was like, "Oh, have you ever considered going to Maharishi International University? And like, do you know about like all the things?" And I was like, I just showed up. Look, I didn't like I heard about transcendental meditation from the Tim Ferriss podcast, and I ruminated on it, and I was like, I'm gonna sign up and just do it, right? And luckily, like they offer like a veterans discount, so like because it
Hmm.
is relatively expensive. Yeah, like more so than other programs that I've seen about different. But I mean, dude, TM's like the way it works for me. Like transcendental meditation works for me, where like other techniques do not.
We offer value too. I know you like things that cost money that have value.
Yes, yeah. ROI, my ROI on it's exponential,
Same
right?
here,
So
bro.
return on investment, like of
Yeah.
doing it has been so good. So I'm very happy about it.
Yeah.
And
I'm
like
right there with you.
now I'm going to the school where like everybody does it. And
Right.
I feel like the vibe is right, right? Everybody understands and have gone to this level of work, have done their own deep inner work. Um,
Yeah, you came into a great program, like
yeah,
just like knock it out of the ballpark.
yeah.
For
And it didn't exist
yeah,
before. Yeah, this is
you
like
are
our first
you're part of
iteration.
the first cohort
Yeah.
of people in the masters. Obviously, the EDD has existed for some time, but yeah, we're guinea pigs on some level acting as a feeder into the EDD, and now more of the people than not will go EDD route.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm very happy about it, and then I can be Dr. Mikey, so it'll be great.
Yeah,
You can
Dr.
hashtag
Mikey,
implant.
Dr. Mikey, and Dr. Mike.
Yeah, emergence. So I didn't know about Dr. Mike. I had seen him on the video but during like the intro week when I went to go introduce myself, I'm like, oh, I'm Mike. And he was like, and he shakes my hand, like, Mikey, right? And I was like, yes, I guess I'm Mikey all weekend because usually I just say Mike because sometimes people get they see Mikey and they think Mickey and they'll call me Mickey. Especially when I worked at Disney. Oh, dude, I got it
Oh,
every day. I was just give me a suit. Give me the suit. Give me the Mickey suit. But it is like considered like a high honor to get the Mickey suit.
I don't know what
And
that.
I was
Oh,
just like some guy like
you
that was
mean
a
like
contractor
the
for me.
mascot suit? What do you mean by
Yeah,
Mickey's?
yeah. So like I mean, so I didn't know this until I really worked there. Where like in order to become a character, right? That plays a character in the parks, like you have to be there for a long time, right? You have to be here a long time. You have to work your way up. There's like a hierarchy of like work that you
Yeah.
have to do in order to attain that level.
Wait, you're telling me that you got to dress up as Mickey?
No, I never did. I was a contractor on the tech side.
Yeah, that's
They
what
would
I thought.
never. They would never. I worked at Disney for like 9 months, and the
Yeah,
pandemic happened. Then I was a contractor, so the contractors that are considered like
disposable.
second class citizens.
Yeah,
Like
you
that's
get
like
like
the nicest way I can put it.
you get cut
Yeah,
first.
yeah, absolutely. And I did get cut first. They cut
Yep.
50% of all the engineering teams. As far as I understand it, that's what happened. I don't know. I didn't get the whole story. I'd only been there for a little bit. And I really didn't like going into the office. Right. So I'd been remote for 2.5, 3 years before that. And then I was like, let me go do it because it is in the park. I did get to work in the parks. Right. I have funny stories about working in the parks and just very interesting people that I met. So it was good, but for the most part, it wasn't what I was expecting, and I was unhappy. So
Yeah.
for like 9 months, I kind of suffered unnecessarily because I could have got a contract with a different company, and they would let me work remotely, and it would have been fine,
Yeah.
right? But I mean, this is like pre-COVID era, but I did get really sick, like a couple months before they shut down the parks. So it could have been an early onset of like COVID before they like realized what
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah. I think
Not
so.
to like get
COVID
not
was
to get
going around before we talked about it.
yeah, but it was one of those things where like I'd never been so sick in my life. I thought I just had the flu, and
Yeah.
I probably should have went to the hospital, but I didn't think about it. But
You're
um,
doing okay.
I mean, I survived. It was not great, but
Yeah.
yeah, I ended up taking the week off and just being sick at home and like in my apartment. So I ended up getting an apartment in Orlando while I was still paying for my house here in St. Petersburg because the commute was killer, right? Like, I mean, I say that,
Like an
but
hour and a half.
yeah, it's about an hour. It was an hour and 23 minutes door to door from my house to the apartment or from my house to the office.
Yeah.
Um, so it was one of those things where like, man, I need to really do this. So I ended up getting the apartment. It was really nice. I thought about buying a house there, and thank God I didn't because it would have been so
Oh
messy.
boy.
Yeah, it would have
They
been
were
so
not. They
messy.
were not in the marriage with you.
Yeah. So it worked out though. But I mean, going back to Emergence, if I could if I could coach myself back in the day, I'd give myself like the coaching I needed. And like, well, you know, what do you got to do to make the most of it? How can you network with people there? Um, and you know, even though you claim to be miserable, you're still showing up. So what's the best thing you can do for yourself when you show up?
Wait, you're not asking me, right? You're asking the client.
I mean, I'm asking myself, like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
Well, yeah.
five,
In this
6 years
case,
ago. Yeah, what do you think
ask
about
Mikey
as like somebody who would be like the coach, mentor, evaluator here? What would you think on that line question?
about asking. Oh, about asking the client that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I have to be in the moment with them, in order to know exactly what I'd ask. But it's like Emma, you know, yeah, for the audience, that's one of our faculty who's been teaching a few of our classes. Will say like coaching is like a hallway with a bunch of doors, and there's no right door, right? You just have to um,
Go
be
Voyage.
clear, yeah, and maybe use some of your intuition to be like, oh, I'm going to ask this question right now because that seems like it's most relevant. There might be this one that's like, oh, it's going to help us get on a clear path to, but if your intuition says otherwise, you ask that door, you open the door, and then there's mystery for everybody going down the new hallway of the door. So yeah, I couldn't say
Ooh.
right now exactly what I'd ask, but if I was in there with you, I think one thing we could do is maybe we could even coach each other on this podcast, even if it was the 10-minute version, and
Yeah, I love that. To be
give
honest
people
with
a
you.
taste of it. Or
Yeah.
we could invite guests who want to want to sample coaching.
Mm,
Excuse me.
I love
Um,
that.
Apologies, Mikey. I got to drop and get ready for my next meeting here.
Yeah, man, no worries.
When's
This is
when's our
funny.
when's our next date?
I'm traveling next week, so I'll be out Wednesday or Friday.
Oh, this is your
So like
Michigan trip.
let's yeah, no, that's the DC trip.
All right.
So DC and then Michigan. The Michigan trip is for fun, 11 through the 14th. So let's look at the calendar. But you also have my calendar. You can throw stuff on there. And if you don't
Yep.
have it, I can send it to you again. But probably
Should we just
uh,
should we try for the same time next week, or do you want to? No,
we
no. You're
can do
saying
that.
because
Yeah,
you're
I'm traveling next
traveling
week. So next week is
out.
Friday, the 13th. I'll also be gone. So like the 20th. You think the 20th work for you? Same time on the
Yeah.
20th?
Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
think it should work
Can you
just
send me
fine.
the invite if you have the availability to do
Yeah.
that?
Yep. Yep. In fact, I'll confirm with I have this meeting every other Friday, so I'll make sure it doesn't fall on that day before I send it out. Okay.
Hashtag dope. That is.
It's from the Wu-Tang.
Okay. I
Well,
do know.
actually, I did a combination of Napoleon Dynamite and then Wu-Tang.
Oh, you know, emergence. You gotta see what comes up.
Exactly.
Both good things. All right, man.
Right.
Take care.
All right, emergers. Peace up.
Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Bye.
Peace, bro.